add 50,000. So I pointed this out to you because I thought it was so funny. He's talking to the group and he's like, hey, you guys, you didn't win last time. I'm trying to give you money. Like, let's add another 50,000. What do you think? And then you hear like cheering, but we see everybody in the crowd and not one person is cheering or clapping.
Yes. Today, you have a chance to bump that.
Yes. That's
so like the audio like did just not match at all, and like I was dying.
And I asked you to rewind it, and I was like, that's either just dubbed from another retake or whatever else, or production assisted to it, but clearly nobody is clapping. So like that's why you got to have some bets in there to be like, yeah, now it's time, so
right.
we don't have to do retake again. Yeah, that was insane.
Oh. What up, challenge fans? This is Final Alliance Podcast. We just finished watching episode 2 of the challenge, season 39, titled 2 Lungs, 1 Heart, Can't Lose.
All right.
We both love Friday Night Lights.
We both do. It's in my top 5 of all-time series.
Oh, same.
I do love it a lot. Chauncey has a Michael B. Jordan look to him.
Doesn't
love that.
Though? I know.
The 2 lungs, 1 heart, full eyes, can't lose. Like, it doesn't match the quote that you get in there.
No, because there was the Braveheart situation.
Yeah,
right?
That's what it was. Yeah.
And then I got confused, and I was like, was there a quote from Braveheart that was linear to the Friday Night Lights?
Now, did Coach Taylor steal from Braveheart? And then
right.
I need to go back to like 1997 and watch Braveheart or whatever else,
right.
and be like, wait, hold on a second. Coach Taylor ripped off William Wallace? I have no idea.
Which would totally track.
It'd still be a good show.
It'd still be the best show.
I love it.
It's so good.
Yeah. Clear eyes, full hearts, can't lose. Anyway,
clear eyes, full hearts.
Yeah, can't lose. Yeah,
can't lose.
Yeah, but it's a good title. It was one that piques your interest. The quote that they have in there, it doesn't match, but we've talked about quotes before. We're like, oh, that's lazy, and it's not. This one, good quote, and it piques your interest. Good.
Yes, they seem to be making an effort with episode titles this season. There was the episode title last week where it was something that was used in the show. Mm-hmm. Then they're attempting a play on words from Friday Night Lights.
Yeah. I would say, yeah. 2 lungs, 1 heart. I mean, lungs, I guess, because swimming and whatever else. And you guys have watched the show. We're not spoiling anything for you, but yeah, swimming and
it was heights over water,
hardening it out, or whatever else. I mean, no one questioned anyone's. Well, they questioned some people.
Except can't lose, but they did.
Yeah, they sure did. That's a really good point. Maybe that's where they were like, I gotcha. Yeah, they can't lose. Yeah, they only got $6,000 of TJ's money.
But you know what? We tried our best, and I'm really proud of us.
Yeah.
Says Huey.
Yeah, I know. He was really excited about that in the kitchen. I would have had nothing to do with that at that point. I had nothing to do with it when he was saying it when I was watching it, so I can't believe that. Everyone else like, yeah, Huey, yeah, we tried our best. Proud of everyone. Yeah.
Well, he said it after the challenge too, in front of Tej.
Yeah, he said there. Yeah, he did. And then he got sitting in the kitchen. Still like, okay.
Oh, yeah. God love him.
Okay.
I really enjoy him. I really enjoy also how he says ting instead of thing.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously he's saying thing, it's an accent, but I hear ting.
Tink. It's tink. Not ting.
Is it tink or is it
tink?
Ting.
Tink. There's no H. It's tink.
Tink.
Don't say ting.
I tink.
Yeah, tink. I think we ought to, yeah.
Well, now I'm second guessing myself. Is it ting or tink?
It's tink. And that's why I was like, do you like it? And you're like, yeah, because by the way, and we say this every time, we watch it together. And I was like, no, I don't like it. And I was like, well, I have to pull that back. Because Mickey and Rocky says, I think we ought to murder the bum. Actually, in Rocky 2, he says that. So, I think we ought to murder the bum. So.
We haven't mentioned Rocky in a while.
Yeah,
so
well,
hey,
here we go.
Those of you scoring at home, take a drink.
Yeah.
Jay mentioned Rocky.
Right. He does not say ting. He says tink. No H.
Every ting. Maybe I'm
Every
just
tink. Everyone tinks. I am less of a competitor. I am not doing it right. Whatever.
yeah, we're not very good.
Is he from? Where's he from? Australia?
Ireland.
Ireland. Oh, okay.
I don't know.
I don't know. I thought, yeah, it's Tink.
I think I like him.
Okay. Well, you can like him, but that's fine.
Big T had just won. Everyone's coming into the house, gassing her up. Yay, 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 when the episode starts.
Mm-hmm.
Which is interesting because, they're one team. So it's like, yeah, cool.
And then, who was it that said, like, I put Big T in?
Horacio, our guy. We saw him right away.
Yeah.
Thank God.
And we're like, yes, he's in. Look
Thank
at
God.
this. Now they listen to us, right?
Yes.
Okay. He's like, oh, I said her name. And this is where things get weird. But they will even themselves out. The flow that we're used to. You said this will be. You said out loud. You go. This will be an issue in the show between Big T and Horacio.
Horacio, yeah.
Because we know like what producers want you to do, and I was like, oh yeah. And
it wasn't a thing this episode.
No, we never see her again. We never see her again.
Yeah, at all that episode.
Yeah, none.
We almost need to make a category of where were they?
Yeah.
Because every episode, it seems, of the two, there are many people that we're not seeing at all.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Of course. Yeah.
So maybe that we'll add that as a category as where were they?
Yeah. There's other people out on the show, but yeah.
Jay and Chauncey are apparently aligned together, but they're not aligned together. They're having a conversation. They're, Team America, but neither one of them trusts each other. So that is our lead-in. That is our foreshadowing immediately 3 minutes into the episode.
So right after the Big T thing, you
Correct.
had this, and they're sitting together like across from each other from bunks, like they're can't be Walu or whatever else, like and they're talking about things and like, yeah, I am complete America. Yeah, that's that. I'm not gonna say your name. I'm not gonna say my name. And both of their interviews are like,
I don't really trust them though.
Yeah,
like we're cool, but like we don't trust each other.
And then you turn around like, this is gonna be an issue too.
It's gonna be a thing.
And I was
yeah.
like, all right, yeah, I think this is too. Yeah.
Huey and Olivia have a beautiful conversation just about their past upbringing. Her from Alaska, not Australia, and then him, growing up in like being a gypsy world, and also on top of that, like being gay and like not accepted. And I thought that was like a really beautiful exchange between the two of them.
I agree with you. I'm not taking anything with, but if the only thing that was through my head is like, if I have a prejudice about what a gypsy is, floating in the background is that Kieran guy. Am I saying that right?
I think so. Yeah.
And he's covered like from neck down of tattoos. He's floating in the background. He's like, I'm a gypsy. I'm like, no, that guy. If I had to think like if anyone was a gypsy, and again, we all have prejudices,
stereotypes, or whatever.
Yeah, but I'm like, that guy in the background floating is the gypsy, not you, Huey. Like that guy looks like a gypsy more than you. But I don't know his background or how he grew up with us. But to sit there and be like, by judging a book by its cover, which is never right.
Never
like
right.
The guy floating right there is like, that guy looks more like than you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was interesting.
It was interesting, and like for me, the reason why I liked it so much was one, like we get the background. It's always good to like for me to know the people, specifically like Huey, like who I've only seen once, because I buy in and then I hear about them and then I root for them.
Yeah,
but also I feel like two things. Like it reminds me of like Real World, where people are like sitting around having those like real conversations with each other about how they grew up.
Yep.
And it also, I forgot where I was going with this. It'll come.
Well, you can come to you in a second. As speaking of, I agree with exactly what you're saying, because the background thing is a good thing.
It's important.
And it's, you know me, and I've said this 100 times, and this has come up a couple times during this episode. Guys, you're there for the money. I know you are. I don't need to hear for your kid or your grandma's got cancer, sorry, and whatever else, or my dad, or I'm going to build a house for my whatever else. He gave a backstory, and then they gave photos, which rarely do they do. and
An
so,
origin story.
Yeah, and so I like that a lot. And again, nothing against like that you're doing it for kids or your grandma or whatever else. There's no problem with that. But in the end, they're going for the money. Okay?
Oh, for sure.
So, but the origin, like you said, is a good thing. I like that.
And it came to me, I remembered. I feel like a lot of these conversations happen organically, naturally in the house often, but we don't get to see them. Like we as viewers don't get to see these conversations. So it was kind of nice to see that.
Well, I'd rather.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. I'd rather do that than they cut away from like when they're going in the arena. And they're both staring at each other.
Oh, Jesus. We haven't seen that yet this season, and I hope that we are done with that.
Yeah.
The weird stare off
Yeah.
needs to stop, and I hope we're done with it.
But you also said when this was going down, you're like, I don't feel good about Huey either. And so, although maybe the first one that went through, like with Big T and Horacio, but you nailed it with Huey and you nailed it with Chauncey, and it's not like a thing like the student becomes a master, but we've been doing this long enough that I'm like, watch producers, and you're like, yeah, and you've gotten so much faster than me. You'd be like, before.
Well, yeah, because I used to just be along for the ride.
Yeah. And so now if you just pay attention, you're like, and you just see it coming. And those two will become the focal point after the challenge.
Apparently there's some love interest between Kylan and Melissa. Okay. I was not all that interested in this at all.
No.
It will come up later, but at that point, yeah, okay. Horacio putting on his shirt, getting ready to go to the challenge.
What was that?
Oh my God. I even like stopped and looked at you. I was like, did you see him putting on his shirt?
What did I say to you? That wasn't a 6-pack.
Uh-huh.
And I said, I don't know if that was an 8-pack.
And I said, that was a whole case.
That was a whole case.
That was a whole case.
That was a Busch Light 30 pack.
Beautiful, man.
Busch Light 30 pack maybe.
For real.
That was too much. That made me want to do sit-ups right there. I don't know how many sit-ups over under you think he does in a day. I mean, Herschel Walker used to do 1,000 push-ups and 1,000 sit-ups a day.
A period of time in my like late teens, early 20s would do 1,000 a day because that's what Britney Spears said that she did. And when she was in like really, really good shape. So I was like, I'm gonna do 1,000 a day.
He's got.
I did not have that situation.
He's got to be 1,500 plus.
I mean, the man is.
He can plank for like 7-8 minutes. Probably.
Oh God, probably.
Yeah.
I think kick it old school. Have that be like a challenge. Plank.
Yeah.
Or an elimination. Plank.
Plank while you're like doing trivia questions. See?
Yes. Yeah. And if you get it wrong, they put like a weight on you.
Oh yeah, I like that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Producers, if you're listening.
Mm-hmm. That's a good.
Yeah, and you have low budget.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe like
doesn't cost very much money.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, haven't seen Pyrotechnics lately, so
not
maybe
mad at that.
Maybe the budget is good.
Yeah, they blew their budget for like the last like 10 years or next like 10 years on all the pyrotechnics. TJ, was there. I didn't care for his outfit. Whatever. Sad 50,000. I pointed this out to you because I thought it was so funny. He's talking to the group and he's like, hey, you guys, you didn't win last time. I'm trying to give you money. Like, let's add another 50,000. What do you think? And then you hear like cheering, but we see everybody in the crowd and not one person is cheering or clapping.
Yes. Today, you have a chance to bump that.
Yes. That's
so like the audio like did just not match at all, and like I was dying.
And I asked you to rewind it, and I was like, that's either just dubbed from another retake or whatever else, or production assistant to it, but clearly nobody is clapping. So like that's why you got to have some vets in there to be like, yeah, now it's time, so we don't have to do a retake again. Yeah, that was insane.
Oh heavens! So it's called ball control. There's 23 balls for 23 competitors in a big hoop in the water. This is a heights over water situation. You got to jump off a dock, swim. You create 2 human ladders. You got to climb up. You got to clip yourself in. Then you climb up, and then you have to put your own ball in a bin or whatever.
Yeah.
It's complicated.
In 20 minutes.
Yeah, 23 minutes for
23
23
minutes,
competitors. Just explaining it, I knew it probably wasn't going to work out.
I 100% said this is no way it's working out.
The strategy, it was interesting. It seemed like they had quite a bit of time to strategize.
Mm-hmm.
Kieran started to talk, and they were all kind of like, well, you talked last time, and it didn't work out, so let's listen to other people. And then everybody had ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Michelle finally kind of came up with a plan. They, like, got into groups or whatever. It seemed promising, but, yeah, it just didn't work out.
No, I don't. This whole thing, like 23 minutes, the only thing I thought of in the people who, like, in the actual know that are out there, that these challenges that we know of are usually run through production assistants.
Right.
So they probably got it done.
They have people that try it, yeah.
They got it done, but they kind of knew when they're putting it together what to do. But this thing did not look good from the beginning.
No.
We talk about this, and let's not spend too much time on this because it was just such a cluster of a challenge.
It really was. It was a huge cluster.
When we ask each other, would you like to do this challenge? Would you like to done this challenge?
If I was with a group that I knew we could figure it out, yes.
Yeah.
But no. The idea of, like, clipping, climbing, putting a ball in, that sounds fun.
Yeah. I would not.
But with no direction and everyone trying to figure it out, no, that sounds awful. There are way better things I would like to do with my time than that.
Again, fans of the show that know me, I would have swam faster than anyone else because I don't like things that live in the water. But I wouldn't have liked to have been on that rope. I don't like my proxemics invaded that much. I'm not much of a hugger. So the fact that people are climbing on me and putting their feet in my face and whatever else, I would have been like, I don't know about that. Now, I wouldn't, like, freak out because I'm a team player. But it just didn't seem like when we were watching, we're like, there's no way this is going to work out.
No.
I mean, I was shocked that they even got to $6,000.
Right. Because it was like they had, like, 8 minutes. They were 8 minutes in, and they finally had, like, one rope that looked like kind of complete. Yeah. And I'm like, all right, okay, maybe they're leading us to believe that it's not going to go and they're going to figure it out. No.
And I don't think it comes down to who was the captain or the director, architect of how we're going to build these ropes. I really don't think it would have worked out. I don't know where they got to. Chauncey doesn't latch, and Huey doesn't do whatever else, but we'll get to that.
I didn't understand that either. I mean, I guess, Chauncey got up to a certain point, and he was not able to clip on. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Huey, I guess something similar. Heck if I know. It was hard to understand with all of the pile of people. Asaf? Yeah. I'm still struggling with names. Said, I see $50,000 flushing with the waves of the sea. That was pretty good. They got $6,000. Huey says, we tried our best. And they're all thinking it's going to be a men's day.
Yeah.
Thinking, Huey or Chauncey likely.
Yeah.
Different groups talking. Michelle, Corey, Jay, Nerese, Chauncey, or Nerese are saying, maybe Chauncey or Huey.
Yeah.
James and Huey are talking, and there was really no purpose to this conversation, I think, other than to show us James in his underpants. Well, I mean, like, they were flirting, and it was, like, cute or whatever.
I get it. I understand.
Showing that they're friends.
Yeah, they're friends. And even James will later say, like, well, he annoys me, but I like the guy. I don't, this is only to spark a debate, like boxers versus briefs type of thing. And they're hoping that goes, like, viral or whatever. But in the end, he says, like, in 5 years, James just gives out 5 years. 5 years, if we're not with anyone else, we'll just get married then. Like,
right.
Like, that's not James. Hold on. That's not like in high school with your BFF, like,
right, like my
years.
best friend's wedding thing where it's like, we're 28 and we're not married.
Yeah. He's like, 5 years. And he's like, I think he's just flirting with, and then Huey's like, I gotta go take a shower. I mean, cold shower or whatever else. And he was so excited because these guys in.
Yeah, 5 years is like a blink anymore.
Yeah, I don't understand that. But this is more than we've ever seen in James. So yeah.
Well, and so I like a lot of these people I don't know very well, specifically James, and like that scene came from like right out of commercial, and I literally said to you, I'm like, this effing guy, like, because I'm like,
Yeah.
who is this guy? I don't
He was
know this
also the guy
guy.
that said like I'm a celebrity back home, so I
Right.
have to perform. I'm like, you're a celebrity back home. Like, what do you mean?
And maybe he is, but like we, you know, I don't know.
I mean, you're just a steroid version of Ed in my eyes. They look the same.
They do
That's-
look a
yeah,
lot alike.
yeah.
And I did watch UK just very quickly. It was only like 5 episodes, but he like all I remember from him is he had like a bad accent and he got like the biggest black eyes ever, and then he was eliminated. Anyway, moving on. They have a night out. Michelle's talking about Callum.
Yeah.
All I hear is like screeching tires in my head
Yep.
when she discusses him, and it just like it hurts my heart because it's like we the viewers all know like about his girlfriend, and like, oh, it just makes me sad. Raven and Chauncey are obviously close. They're discussing things, and clearly she's more on his team than like the rest of the Americans. That's going to come up later. Jay and Huey are talking, and Jay says what he says to Chauncey later, which is, okay, so like if you go in, like your name is potentially going to come up, and would you rather be voted in and get to choose who to go against, or, you know, be surprised?
I know you like Jay,
Yeah, I suppose I like Jay.
and I don't.
I suppose you don't.
No, I don't. Like, most
He's
of the stuff,
kind of taking. This is like a more
he even started
vet,
at the beginning of it. But the thing is,
but this is a more vet role.
he started off saying, at the beginning of it.
Oh
he
yeah,
made
like the
thing,
hurricane or whatever.
Yeah, Americans, and then I've got a couple people here, and I got a couple people here, and he's like, I'm kind of playing both sides, whatever else. And he is playing both sides.
Yeah.
He's not as good as Wes.
No.
Not even close. And when he's saying like, well, you can just go in, you can pick whatever you want to do, and you can throw any of us in, you know, even myself, or blah, blah. But he looks I'm sorry, he might be a sweetheart of an individual. I could maybe have a beer with him and be like, oh man, I'm wrong. But every time he delivers in his one-on-ones or when he's talking to people, he sounds so insincere and sounds so like a slime ball. It just drives me nuts. I don't know what it is that I can't get over it. I have no clue. It's not like he did anything wrong in the past. I'm like, no, I can't do this because that's not in my psyche. But I just watch him and I'm like, nah, He's trying to convince it. And Huey even says, he's like, he's trying to get me to go in and throw myself in. He's like, if I were you, I'd go in. That way you can pick people. I don't know. There's something off.
Okay.
There really is.
I have not seen that, but I don't know.
We
like
just watch the same show.
I know, but like I don't see it slimy like. I see it more like he has taken notes from vets in the past.
Okay.
And he is strategizing in a similar way.
All right. That's fair. My point is he couldn't convince me to pick up $100 bill off the street.
Right.
Whereas the other guys could.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Interested to see how this plays out.
Mm-hmm.
This weird Melissa Kylan, people are encouraging them to kiss, and then he doesn't go for it, and then she runs off because she like feels uncomfortable, and that whole thing was weird. Then they get home and they get in bed together, and he gives her a massage, and they cuddle and stuff.
Yeah.
One of the stranger hookups that I think I've seen in the challenge house.
Yeah,
in strange, I mean, not maybe the people that are hooking up, but like the series of events.
Yeah, it was unnecessary because I mean, so they end up in bed together. He gives her a massage. Yeah, they end up having
I think
kisses,
kissing.
Yeah, pull the covers over, but yeah, she just feels
well, it's insecure if you're like pretty and you're smiling at him and people are saying kiss, and then he like completely clams up and like doesn't kiss you.
Well,
you feel too. Insecure.
I mean, she knows she's out of his league, and then they're like,
he's out of her league.
He's out of her league.
Yeah.
Sorry, she knows that. I mean,
Mhm.
she knows that. She's no dummy, and he knows it too. But then they're like, yeah, and she's like, yeah, I kiss, and it's like some awkward like half kiss on the cheek, and she's like, what is this nonsense?
Right. It was.
And then he has to like come. listen, the other things that he has, if it's social anxiety of like not, PDA, of course, understand that. Whatever else, there's no problem with that at all. But don't make the young lady and have to go through the whole entire process that not only they opted trying to be off the scenes, then they were in a booth with someone else until finally he had
Oh yeah, because Big T was there.
So that is like a 3-part process to get to be like, what you have to do is be like, I'm not in a PDA. It's just not me.
Right.
Never would be.
And like, I think I would be done. Like, I'd be like, you had a couple chances. It didn't happen.
Yeah.
Clearly, you're not that into me.
Yeah, but all you have to do is just be like, it's just not me. I'm not in PDA. I
felt
raised that way,
uncomfortable.
whatever. I'll hold your hand. I'll hold the door for you. I'll do whatever else. I will give you weird massages. But like, it's like there's other ways to do it besides the conversation.
Nerys and Olivia are talking. They're really close friends. And they, they're kind of on to Raven being like, she's talking to Chauncey and like, we're thinking about voting Chauncey in. She's kind of a liability. I feel like that's going to come up later in the season. Also, word on the street is Olivia and Nerys are like not in like now, not friends.
Oh no!
So I don't know if
every day. That's what they said.
Right. Yeah. So I don't know if it's has to do with Horacio or something that's going to play out on the season. I don't know. I know it makes me sad, but I'm also, as a viewer, I'm like curious what happens.
Oh my goodness!
I know, right? And does it have to do with Horacio? I don't even know. Does it have to do with Raven?
You'll let me know when you like have some tea. You'll let me know.
Of course I will.
Yeah.
I'll let you guys know. The Brits want to keep Huey. Not a big deal. Chauncey has this strange meeting with the Americans.
Yeah.
Whatever. We go into deliberation. Wow, was this uncomfortable?
Yeah.
First of all, a lot of people in black. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
Manuel had a strange look. Looked like he was getting ready to do some sort of like a jazz dance performance.
Yeah.
The hat.
Yeah.
He has the dance background. Maybe just outfit he performance outfit he had laying around.
See the neon lights are bright on
Jazz hands. Good call. He would be way better than whatever that
really
was that I just did.
Yeah.
We see just little seconds of his dancing. Huey gives a speech. I don't know. And then Chauncey says, oh God, it's so uncomfortable. Did you feel secondhand
You kind of felt like he was like throwing himself in, right?
Well, first, Huey gave like a really long speech that was like, there was so much involved and he was speaking really fast. And half of it I didn't catch, but it was like, Callum was like, well done. Well done.
Yeah.
And that was like the Braveheart speech. But yeah, so Chauncey immediately goes to Horacio and he's like, have I ever done you wrong?
Yep.
And sweet, well-mannered Horacio says, well, if I'm going to be honest, yeah, you did.
Mm-hmm.
You said you weren't going to say my name and you did. And everyone was kind of like, we weren't expecting that response. Chauncey
said, no, Chauncey goes, I was expecting that response. And that's why I want to say, like, here's what's going on. He said, I thought you were going to say that.
That's what he said, but I didn't think that he expected that response.
No, come on. No. And that's why he turns and he says,
Michelle.
Wasn't Michelle next? Yeah. She's like, well, yeah, you did. And he's like, at that point, he's like, I don't know a response to that. And everyone's like, oh, everyone's like, oh no.
Oh, it was so Chauncey, uncomfortable.
You're digging yourself in this hole.
And then Olivia's like, yeah, you kind of did me wrong by my partner, my ride or die.
Yeah.
It was just, oh God. I was like, and I love Chauncey. I really like the guy.
Yeah.
I'm really rooting for him. And I'm like, oh honey, this is not going well at all. This is not going well at all.
Like, you do have to understand, like, as much as like not giving him credit, Jay had already talked to Chauncey.
Oh, and then Jay jumps in too.
Yes. And he's like, well, you did say you didn't trust me. And Jay,
he's like, well, yeah, you told me that you said that in your interview too.
So he's like, yeah, but Jay's trying to do the thing where he's like, you should go in to both of them. Like, you should throw yourself in. That way you can pick when you go in who's going to be whatever, because they're probably going to call you out. So that was the thing that Jay was trying to do, trying to get one of them to throw their name in there, and kind of worked out.
Kylan brings up a point where, because with the women it was unanimous.
Mm-hmm.
What if you only get to pick from the people who voted for you?
Yes, he was
in the
stirring the pot. And Kylan
but that's happened before.
Yeah,
I think it was maybe Dirty 30, Bloodlines, one of those where it was like the people who voted for you, like they lit up, and then you could pick from them.
Yeah.
So I get, if he's somebody that studied the show, which I know he has, I get his thought process.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God it was wrong, but it did.
Was it him or was it the UK? Because he's like they're gonna burn their votes,
and
he said that's because they know
because they told Raven,
because we're gonna burn our votes because we think this way because maybe they were sequestered. Sorry, spoiler. This is what happens to people who don't watch the show. They'll sequester them for like 2 weeks and make them watch a season or two, and it could have been the one you're talking about, and then someone gets buzzing around saying like, well, what if it's only people you voted for because whatever else? But like you said, it's Kylan does this, and he is
because he's like, what if we all Americans vote for Chauncey, and then he has to take out one of us
because it's all about who voted for you because numbers wise. It's again, I said it before. I'll say it again. I can always like lose competitors and never think about them again. But it does bring back flashbacks of Big Brother where Kylan's stirring a pot and he doesn't know what he's talking about, but for some reason he's got a stronger presence. And people are like, yeah. And so, but it looked like it
very intelligent,
and it came off. I mean, but
because he is.
But when they voted everything, and not to get too far ahead, but it seemed like UK kind of were doing the burn thing, but
a little bit. I think there were like that ended up like there were like 3 for Huey and then 1 for like a couple other guys.
Yeah.
So it didn't quite translate. Michelle starts it. Chauncey's voted in. He gets to pick any male.
Chauncey votes for himself though.
Right.
Appreciate that. Yeah.
I mean, there were 17. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
He votes James, which was like such a left field situation because it's like, Huey was the one that everybody was thinking he would go for.
All right.
And then Horacio said maybe he would be voted for. Might Light is what this is called. It's Connect 4.
Yeah, but you can double up one way or another. Yeah.
Big tubes. Run. Put them in the thing. It's timed. Yeah. You want to get as many 3 in a row as possible, and it's 3 rounds.
Mm-hmm.
Is this one you would like to do? By the way,
Might Light is a throwback to Light Bright.
Light Bright. Loved Light Bright.
Oh, good. I didn't know if you... I didn't know
Light Bright.
I knew I was older than you, but yeah, all right.
Yeah,
anyway,
I had a Light Bright.
So anyway.
Of course.
Yeah. Sorry to, give the reference there.
And then in Gremlins, you like flash the light on.
Oh, yeah.
Light Bright.
Yeah.
Is this one you would like to do? I think this is like...
Yeah.
It's if you're not me, I'm not a contact person, I'm like, oh yeah, I'd do this one.
Yeah, I would have liked to do this. I think the only time that got weird is when they were both trying to push in the same one. Other than that, I mean, when I say weird, I mean, it's cool that one prevailed the other, but it's kind of like, pass, I'll put it on this other one because there's got to be other things to put the light in. But yeah, it was a good one. It was a lot of strategy involved, but, would it go down 1, 2, 3? How did it go down?
Well, first, before it started, they were talking about Chauncey's speed. And I like paused and I looked at you and I was like, I watched his Instagram. I watched him doing agility ladders. Yeah. And he is fast.
I thought he was going to,
And I know he's got the endurance. And I don't know anything about this guy, but if you were to go by what the legs strength looked like, I would suspect it would be Chauncey.
Yeah, and when you say that, like, that's not being judgmental. Go back and watch it, folks. Like, look at the legs and James. He's skipping leg day, and you said it first, and I'm like, and once you see it, you can't unsee it.
You can't unsee it.
You cannot unsee that. Like, and clearly, you guys know this. You're only listening because you watch it. He's gonna gas out as can be. So it's brutal, and Melissa's just laughing at him like he cannot run.
And so I don't know that I've seen anyone like get that like many people like laughing and stuff about them mid elimination. I was shocked. So round 1, James takes it 9-6. Yeah. Okay. Chauncey was more interested in like being faster, but he wasn't being strategic. Round 2, it's a little closer. James gets 6, Chauncey gets 5. Mm-hmm. And then here's where James just like completely gasses out in between rounds. And he's just like, I mean, visibly breathing so deeply, like not like I'm just like a little tired, like laying down.
Yeah. That's where Melissa's like, there's no way this guy's going
like
to win a final.
Huge.
Yeah.
Like
everyone knows right now that this guy's not going to.
Yeah. And at first I was kind of like, that wasn't very nice. And then I looked at you and I was like, she can say that because she's run a final. But I'm like, she is able to say that because she has run a final.
That is a fast track way to get to the final that people are going to keep you because it's one winner. So keep somebody who's going to die off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
it would be smart.
None of them are winners, so they might not be thinking that way.
Sure.
But I also think by doing it team starting, it eliminates a little bit of that.
Yeah.
Because you are wanting to get off the weakest, quote unquote, weakest links in the beginning because they have to work as a team.
I'm just saying, she said it. Mm-hmm. And again, production
from her mouth to God's ears.
But production will take you to where they need to go. And that could be a narrative where people are like, well, we're not going to vote in James because we know he has no stamina. Just, I'm telling you, production will take you where it needs to go.
Right. For the layup route. That's tried and true. Round 3, and like at this point, you and I are doing math. I'm like, okay, so Chauncey's got 11, dude's got 15. Like this is gonna. I don't know how this is gonna. No the math is gonna work.
He's gonna do this. I don't think Chauncey's got it in him to make this up.
And then round 3, James got 3, and Chauncey got 6, so it ended up 18-17. James. Then he goes in like, okay. When you gas out like that, you don't get to do the gladiator quote.
No,
you don't get to do the gladiator quote.
No.
Also, you don't get to do the gladiator quote on a freaking puzzle. I'm sorry. What?
Yeah. Are you not?
No,
entertained?
I'm not entertained by you almost passing out over some light bright bull crap. I'm not entertained. No. I mean, actually, I was a little entertained because like it's the show. But like, you don't get to do that. I'm sorry.
No. No one was there.
Maybe do some squats, homie. I don't know. A little bit of cardio.
Nobody was. Everyone was like, ugh.
Don't dog on my boy Chauncey like that. I'm sorry. I got a little heated. It was kind of heated, yeah. Okay. I'm sorry for my outburst.
Yeah, that's right. Apology accepted, yeah. Okay.
I am really sad that Chauncey's going home, though. Like, I'm glad we got to see him again. But at the same time, his daughter was born just a couple weeks before my daughter was born. So I'm glad that he gets to go home to go, like, be with her and all of that. I do hope we get to see him again, though.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that, yeah.
All right, categories.
Sure.
Who won the episode?
That's a great question. Is it Huey? He had great speeches.
Yes.
He had a backstory involved in it.
Yes.
He survived being voted in. It might be Huey. I think it's Huey.
I will agree with you. I mean, last week you told me you were like, I don't know about Huey.
Yeah, I'm always like, I don't know about Huey but is he? Yeah, because I
becoming
said
pivotal.
Yeah, no, last week I'm like, he knows good television, he knows how to be whatever. Mm-hmm. But now we got a backstory, which is something we had talked about earlier in this podcast that we rarely get, like a backstory, origin, or whatever else. So I think it's Huey, to be honest with you.
I'll take it.
Yeah,
I can't think of anybody else except for Horacio with the shirt moment.
Yeah, he's still. They got to give him more.
It was
time.
just a little. It was like a wink. It was like production winking at us. Like,
Yeah,
there'll be more.
Yeah, he'll be around.
So yeah, I'll give it to Huey.
Yeah, absolutely.
Every ting. I don't
Tink.
I don't
Tink.
tink.
I don't tink. It's not ting. It's tink.
Who lost?
Oh. I mean, the easy thing would be Chauncey, but
Kyland. That just made me uncomfortable.
that's the cringeworthy moment.
Yes, you know what? Yes, that's the cringeworthy moment of the night. That is easy.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah,
easily the
that's the slam
cringeworthy
dunk
moment
right
of the
there.
night. Is Kylan and Melissa's kiss situation.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't want to like pick on Michelle, but when she tried to take over being general and to be like, I'm gonna tell everyone what they need to do, and it was an ultimate failure type of thing.
Mhm.
But I don't know. Who do you think lost it then? I mean, it's got to be Chauncey.
I'm not. Yeah, probably Chauncey.
Yeah.
Just he put himself in a bad position. My eye
Yeah,
is
because come on, if we're giving Kylan the cringeworthy, if Kylan's was out of here, Chauncey's would be cringeworthy because of deliberation. So we're giving him who lost it because of his deliberation, being like,
yes.
"Hey, who
Yeah.
did you do wrong?" So he's
Yeah,
he's gonna lose
absolutely.
it because of that. Yeah.
My eye is on Raven, not to say she lost it, but my
Oh, that's
eye
a
is
good one.
on her because Storm's a Bruin.
Yeah, that she's gonna.
Storm's a Bruin.
She'll be back within the next.
I like
episodes.
her. I find her very likable, and I
No
feel like
problem.
she is how I would play. Like, I'm friends with all of you, but like in this game, you have to have like stronger loyalties. Like, I'm most loyal to you, not everyone.
It's happening.
And
but-
Storm's gonna brew.
Yeah, but Chauncey losing this one
Yeah.
just because of the deliberation. Did I do you wrong? Did I do you wrong? Yes, yes.
Yes, yes,
Did I
yes.
do you wrong? Yes. Okay.
People are
I
like
guess
not
everyone-
even
yeah,
called on
yeah.
it. They're like, oh yeah, and me too.
Yeah, yeah. Wait, is it my turn yet? He's like, I'm not calling on you. Yeah. Put your
And
hand
you
up.
made me pay for the Uber.
Yeah.
Like there's what would Nellie do?
Oh, what would Nellie do? Okay. Oh, Nellie, my boy Nellie. Kylie, you got a beautiful princess queen like that, and you're just gonna let her go?
Mm-hmm.
He would take her off to the side, and be like, Melissa, let me talk to you. Yeah, Nellie would be swoop right in there and be like, hey, I don't know what his problem is, but you are a beautiful queen, and I want everything. Yeah, he would be. Nah, he would not let that go at all.
Okay, let's see if I can do it. Okay.
Yeah.
So then TJ comes up and he says, you guys didn't get 50,000 last time. You didn't get 50,000 last time. I'm going to give you another chance to get that.
All right.
I didn't pause it enough.
No. What you needed to throw in there was like, and then I'm going to give you another chance. And your boy Nelly needs that other chance. Yeah, to get that money. You need to throw
I'm going to get that.
Yeah. And you know your boy Nelly's going to get that chance. That's what, yeah. But Nelly.
Tell us what you think Nelly would do. I got to hear it.
Yeah.
I think that's about it for our categories.
Mm-hmm.
I have one T.
Okay.
Derek, we love. You know, he does Challenge Fandom.
Sure.
And,
yep.
you know, he's been on the challenge a million
kid.
times. You met him?
No, another kid. Does he have another kid on the
Yes, he does.
Oh my God, get out of here.
Well, he just has the one son who's, I think, a freshman in high school.
Sorry.
And him and his wife are pregnant, due in May. So he posted that. So congratulations to Derek. It's exciting. And then, so then it gets better. So, you know, Wes just had his daughter, Lucy.
Okay.
Maybe a month ago. He retweets the post. And he, a couple weeks ago, got on this thing where he was like, guys, hear me out. Challenge, but with all our kids on Nickelodeon. And I'm like, excuse me, sir. We said this first.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, I found it, like, from our, like, archives and shared it. Of course, he didn't see it because, you know, like, we're, like, small potatoes. But we said it, like, in over a year ago that we said Challenge Junior.
Yeah.
All the kids would be amazing. Said it over a year ago. Weston Bergman, which you're not going to see this either. But anyway, so he retweets the thing from Derek, and he said, "My baby girl is going to wrestle a rattle out of your baby so hard it's going to make the top 10 ESPN plays."
Good for them.
He's always good on the socials. But yeah, congratulations to Derek.
Congratulations.
And I think that's all we have for tonight.
All right.
Well, follow us on Twitter, Final Alliance 1, Instagram, Final Alliance, on YouTube, we're Final Alliance Podcast. Please comment, subscribe. We love to hear what you have to say. And on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts, we're Final Alliance Podcast. Nelly T out.